who is very eager to maintain his family and kinsmen simply by black methods certainly goes to the darkest region of hell, which is known as Andhatamishra. Purport. 3 words in this verse are very significant. Kevalena means only by black methods. Adharmena means unrighteous or irreligious. And Kutumba Bharana means family maintenance. Maintaining one's family is certainly the duty of a householder. But one should be eager to earn his livelihood by the prescribed method as stated in the scriptures. In Bhagavad Gita, it is described that the Lord has divided the social system into 4 classifications of caste or varnas according to quality and work. Apart from Bhagavad Gita, in every society a man is known according to his quality and work. For example, when a man is constructing wooden furniture, he is called a carpenter. And a man who works with an anvil and iron is called a blacksmith. Similarly, a man who is engaged in the medical or engineering fields has a particular duty and designation. All these human activities have been divided by the Supreme Lord into 4 varnas, namely Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra. In Bhagavad Gita and in other Vedic literatures, the specific duties of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra are mentioned. One should work honestly according to his qualification. He should not earn his livelihood unfairly by means for which he is not qualified. If a Brahmana who works as a priest so that he may enlighten his followers with the spiritual way of life is not qualified as a priest, then he is cheating the public. One should not earn by such unfair means. The same is applicable to a Kshatriya or to a Vaishya. It is especially mentioned that the means of livelihood of those who are trying to advance in Krishna consciousness must be very fair and uncomplicated. Here it is mentioned that he who earns his livelihood by unfair means, Kevalena, is sent to the darkest hellish region. Otherwise, if one maintains his family by prescribed methods and honest means, there is no objection to one's being a family man. Om Ajnanatimandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmitanyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitamena Bhutale Swamrupa Kalhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Vandeham Guru Srijuta Padakamanam Guru Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Lagunatabitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikakantar Hadakanto Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavane Rishibhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhayo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Gurudas Jai Guru Swami. केवलेन हि अधर्मेण कुटुम्बभरणत्सुकः याति जीवो अंधतमिश्रम charamam tamasham padam. Therefore, a person who is very eager to maintain his family and kinsmen simply by black methods certainly goes to the darkest region of hell, which is known as Andhatamishra. So we see in this chapter, Lord Kapila is mentioning about those who do not follow the process of devotional service, but instead goes on performing adverse fruitive activities. What would be their position, right? And so he describes in this chapter, right, the position of the life of a materialist who is performing adverse fruitive activities. What is his life? What will be his death? And then his post-death experience, right? What would be his position after he leaves his body, right? His experiences on the way to hell, his experiences in hell, and finally he says that who goes to hell, right? And he responds here in these words, Kevalena, those who is earning to maintain his family by black methods, or dharmena, unrighteous or irreligious, and kutumba bharana means family maintenance, maintaining one's family in an unrighteous way by black methods, right? Tamasa padam, right? Tamasa padam, another word nicely mentioned here, goes to the hellish region, right? Goes to the hellish region filled with darkness, region filled with darkness. So Srila Prabhupada nicely mentions that yeah, in a household life, family maintenance is necessary. But that family maintenance should also be done according to prescribed duties. In Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned Chaturvanya Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Guna Karma, based on karma, Guna and Karma, right? Not based on Jarma Karma, right? These four classes of divisions of the society, right? Chaturvanya Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha, right? We see as a Brahmana, Vaishya, a Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, there are prescribed duties ordered. And nicely it is described in Bhagavad Gita. What is a Brahmana's duty, right? Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Tapasa. The Brahmana's duty. Similarly, Kshatriya's duty is mentioned and Vaishya's duties are mentioned. And Shudra's duties are mentioned. But now if somebody follows Brahmanical occupation, but is not performing, does not have any guna and karma as a Brahmana, right? Not janma, but guna and karma as a Brahmana, then he is performing kevalena by black methods. He is not Brahmana. Often he is described as a Dvijabandhu. The born in Brahmana family, performing, not behaving as a Brahmana, has no guna and karma of a Brahmana. right? So maintenance should be there, but should not be done by unfair methods, right? Because that will lead us to hellish life, Andhata Mishra, right? That will lead us to hellish life. Just as we have example of Mrigari the hunter, Narad Muni, we saw that there is this hunter who is half killing animals, and he could not see the state, the pitiable state of the animals who were suffering. And he approached this hunter that, oh, why you are half killing them? You have to kill them completely. And why are you killing in the first place? Aren't you aware of the sinful reactions which you would accrue from killing these animals? And the hunter mentioned, no, no, this is my occupation. Right, this is my occupation. That to maintain my family, I have to carry out an occupation. And Narad Muni kind of mentioned to him that, is your family ready to be partner of the sinful activities which you're committing? I say, yeah, why not? No, I'm earning for my family. So whatever reactions I accrue, they would be ready to share with me. So normally makes him ask the family members, and the family members said, oh, no, no, this is your duty to maintain us. We have no part, we are not going to share the sinful reactions which you go through. And his eyes widened open. Right. So he asked Narad Muni that how do I otherwise maintain my family? It's my responsibility to maintain my family. And Narad Muni prescribed him a way. They're okay. Leave up your current occupation of being a hunter and go into this hermitage and just chant the holy name of the Lord. And seeing your life transformed, the villagers around you will bring food to you. Will bring food to you. And you'll be able to maintain yourself and also provide food for the family. And Mrigari, the hunter, now being transformed, he follows this prescribed medicine, prescribed occupation by Narad Muni. And he sees that now, after following the process, the villagers were bringing food in abundance to him. He never had to worry about where my food will come. Right? He never had to worry about that. And after a year, Narad Muni with his friend Parvata Muni, they come. Let's check how our Mrigari, now transformed, is carrying out his duties. And when they are approaching the hermitage and Mrigari sees them from a distance, he runs towards Narad Muni and Parvata Muni. And while running, he starts jumping, with not letting his feet touch the ground as much as possible. And it was taking him longer to come towards Narad Muni and Parvata Muni. So they asked him that, oh, why he's jumping like that? Oh, I'm jumping so that there are a lot of ants crawling on the ground. I don't want to step on those ants. Here was the hunter who didn't mind killing the animals, uh, half killing the animals and making them suffer. And in his transformation, he did not want to step on the ants. Right. So his life completely got transformed. Right. So occupation done honestly. Right. Occupation done honestly rather than being performed by unrighteously or irreligious methods or by black methods kevalena. Right. And then writing this life uh, will transform our uh, occupation, will transform our qualities will improve, and we see same way. So many people when they came in contact with devotees, like Srila Prabhupada's movement, they left their unrighteous way of life, right, and completely transformed, became devotees of the Lord. Valya, we see pastime of Valmiki, same way, transformed his life, right? Was a dacoit, completely transformed, and was a biggest writer and of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord when he appeared as Lord Ramachandra, right? So that's a transformation which can take place when we give up our unrighteous ways of activities, take guidance from superior authority, give up our unrighteous ways of activities, and transform our life and dedicate our life in Krishna consciousness. Then sustenance is automatically provided. Who provides the sustenance? The Father provides the sustenance. So our Supreme Father, you know, uh, for his devotees, he would do anything. Right? For his devotees, he would do anything. So that's why we should take to this process sincerely and follow this path of Krishna consciousness. Okay, are there any discussions or questions on this subject matter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept humble obeisance all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhu, now, especially as time goes by, there's a lot of uncertainty in your occupation. So if you're qualified to do one particular occupation, but no fault of yours, you get laid off, etc. And the only other occupation available is something which is not as per your guna, but you have to earn to support the family. So in such a situation, what would be the proper thing to do?
Yeah. With times changing, first of all, most of our occupation, which in current day world we perform, has each and every occupation has some faults. Right. They are not completely according to guna and karma. Mostly, any occupation in which you work for somebody is a Shudra occupation. A Vaishya does not work for somebody. He is a businessman. A Kshatriya does not work for somebody. He is an administrator. The Brahmana does not work for somebody. So any occupation which we perform where we are working for somebody means a Shudra occupation. Right. So that's one thing. That's why, I remember In past, when we had conversations with Bhakti Charu Maharaj, would kind of stress, why work for somebody? Become an entrepreneur. Right. So we are Kalau Sambhava Suddha, we are now in Kali Yuga. Um, most of our bringing is more as a Sudra, so we don't have uh, that uh, um, wider vision of getting out of that occupation, right? But once we do that, right, um, the transformation would act. Um, just like we see people left their businesses or left whatever their occupation and took to Krishna consciousness, right? Okay. When they took to Krishna consciousness seriously, and then in Krishna consciousness somehow figure out a way to maintain themselves, right? We'll have to give up our notion of living in a big house with big mortgage and this and that and that. But otherwise, as far as maintenance is concerned, our devotees somehow maintain themselves, right? They've found some occupation by which, just occupation by which they can earn something just minimal to uh, run their household, whether it could be as a Vaishya of doing business of selling ornaments or selling clothes, design clothes, this, that. I've seen many devotees do that. Right? So that's um, just occupation or going into distributing food. Right? Um, we had a devotee who had this food truck outside Wall Street, which came in Back to Godhead magazine years back, and he was earning fortune. Bhakta Jerry was earning fortune, right? It requires efforts. It requires courage to become an entrepreneur. But Krishna will reward us, right? So that's one thing. Another thing to bear in mind is it's mentioned in the Shastras. We are not going to earn $1 more than what we are destined to earn, and $1 less than what we are destined to earn. Right. So whatever different means our mind, based on our guna, engages us to do things, we will not earn a $1 more or $1 less, right? So these layoffs and this and that, that's part of our that destinies of earning $1 more or $1 less, or it's part of our at times even transformation of getting us move from one um, a way of thinking of occupation to another way of thinking of occupation. Is that all right, Amrita?
Yeah, Prabhu, it partially, yes, I can understand the basis behind this. But what I'm thinking, जैसे आपने बताया, as you said, the destiny, right?
Yeah,
You won't earn $1 more or less.
yeah.
But then destiny is in our hands, no? I mean, karma will ensure you get what you deserve.
Hmm.
But then destiny is in our hand as to how. So my understanding is we can shape our destiny. So when it comes to earning also, so if it is, yeah, Bhagavatam says you won't earn more or less.
Yeah.
but it's still in our hands. And the other, what you said, example of these devotees, that would be a function of faith. So someone
Mm-hmm.
who has totally dependent and surrendered to Krishna,
Mm-hmm.
he really won't have the anxiety that, oh, I lost my job, now what will happen, and things like that.
Yep.
And of course, he will endeavor to do something. But
Mm-hmm.
for, let's say, a regular employed salaried person,
Mm-hmm.
for him or her, it's going to be a, and someone who's in the start of Krishna consciousness or midway through
Mm-hmm.
Krishna consciousness, for them that becomes a huge jump, leap of faith, as they say. And in such time, you are forced to go back into whatever doing your, finding a similar job. And so it becomes a little
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
tricky.
good. So in that situation, yeah, they should find a similar job, but at the same time ensure that it is not unrighteous. It's not with black methods. Black methods means cheating propensity.
Mm,
Like you're not qualified as a Brahmana, but then you act as a Brahmana, right? And pose yourself that, okay, let me just like um, it's mentioned that the biggest reason why Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana, right, was because he posed as a sadhu.
mm,
He posed as a sadhu.
mm,
And there are many like that. They find that, oh, this is a cheaper way. Let me learn some slokas and I will recite or I preach.
mm.
Though I have no qualities. Uh, आचरण नहीं है. So then they pose themselves as sadhus to earn a living.
Mm.
Right? So we should avoid that. Similarly, in our day-to-day job situations, we look for some other similar jobs. No problem. No. Look for some other similar jobs. But at the same time, don't get into, um, especially when you're taken to the path of Krishna consciousness, don't get into uh,
Mm.
selling meat, eating meat, right? Don't get
Yeah.
into all those kind of jobs.
But, oh, okay, sorry. It's time is also over. Sorry to interrupt.
And that's okay. We can discuss this
Yeah, on Bhagavad
in
Seva.
detail in Nityan Bhagavata Sevya or offline also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amrita
Thank
Prabhu.
you. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, we'll end here. We'd like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day and weekend ahead. A weekend filled with activities. The whole week it has been raining. We hope the weekend is more clear. We are having Rath Yatra as part of India Independence Day parade on Sunday from, I believe, 2 o'clock at our same location, intersection of Cinder Road and Oak Tree, where we will all gather at 2. So please take part in the Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath, the last Rath Yatra of the year. Also, we have been actively, now this is a very busy month. Immediately after Rath Yatra, next week will be Brahmotsav, 18th and 19th, and Balram Purnima. So, and also beginning of Julan would be midweek, on Thursday. And then the week after will be weekend in Braj on 25th and 26th, Sunday and Monday. 26th being Janmashtami, right? So lots of activities. So take full advantage of that. Janmashtami is the biggest celebration of the year. And immediately followed by Janmashtami is also Prabhupada Appearance Day. That also we have been celebrating big time. So plan accordingly. We'll be celebrating Prabhupada Appearance Day in the afternoon from 11 to 1. So if we, whatever way you need to adjust that job, try to do that on Tuesday, 27th of August. So lots of activities are there, yeah. If you like to sponsor in any way, please contact one of us. We can give you more details. And please spread the word of Janmashtami to as many people as possible. You all are part of different WhatsApp groups, apart from our temple WhatsApp groups. So at least invite them for Janmashtami. That's our biggest celebration of the year. Yeah. Invite them to the temple. Okay.
After Bhakti Road Rath Yatra, Prasadam will be served at the 95 Fiat Avenue.
Wonderful. After the Bhakti Road Rath Yatra, Prasadam will be served at 95 Fiat Avenue.
In Eastland.
We'll also be having a Sunday program in the evening at the temple. Yeah, please also get back to the Sunday program. But yeah, those who would like to, the cooking seva starts from?
Today we are making sweet from 5 o'clock on. Okay. And then on Sunday morning after Mangalarti.
Okay. Anything happening tomorrow evening?
No, because everybody will be busy with the picnic, right?
Yeah, we'll have to see how the weather holds. Otherwise, the picnic will be seva at the temple.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's see what the weather holds. We have to pray to. Let's see. So, we'll be informing about the picnic. If it rains, definitely it will be. We'll have a rain day some other day. There won't be a picnic with rains. That's for sure, because it's outdoors at Mercer Park. Okay. We like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare.
Sina Singho,
Jai
Jana
Narasimha, Jai
Singho,
Narasimha,
Jai
Jai
Jana
Jai
Singho,
Narasimha.
Praladesha Jaya Padma
Jai
Mukha
Padma
Padma
Mukha Padma
Niki,
Bhringam.
Ugra Veera
Ugraveera
Ugraveeram
Mahavishnu
Mahavishnu
Jalantam
Jalantam
Sarvamukam.
Sarvatomukham Narsingham
Narasimha
Vishnu
Bhishana
Bhadram
Bhadram
Mutyam
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 Namami.
Namami.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai,
Jai.
Bhagwan ki Jai.
Jai.
Yeah, the weather looks good tomorrow, so, and Sunday. Not raining. That's good. So let's see. We like to offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. One Chakalpataru, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Vaishnavinda ki Jai.
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Premanand.
Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Madhuvati Prabhuji.
Thank you, everybody.
Hari
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare
Thank you. Hare Krishna.